Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Coffee People podcast recap show. Thank you for being here and being a supporter of the Coffee People podcast platforms. I'm your host, Ryan Woldt. You can follow or subscribe to our show wherever you're listening, but you'll find all of our episodes, links, and bonus content on coffeepeoplepodcast.com. Please become a subscriber to help us tell the stories of Coffee People. This podcast is presented, as always, by Roastery Coffee Packaging, found online at roastery.com. Check out roastery.com to find examples of their high-quality, affordable, customizable packaging that they offer for coffee, tea, snacks, and beyond. That's roastery.com. Our recent podcast guest was Jing Lin, founder of the Hollywood, California cafe named Coffee Confessionals. I'm here to recap that conversation, in case you didn't have a chance to listen to the full pod, or you just want to reinforce a few of the important key takeaways. For example, and probably the most important note, Coffee Confessionals is a coffee shop first. There's no confessional requirement just for walking through the doors. The idea behind the cafe was to create a simple brand that would connect the humans that wanted human connection. The humans that wanted human connection. That sounds funny. It started with simple conversation cards on the tables, and it evolved from there. Jing started her career as a storyteller. Early in life, she was putting on plays for her family. But then she went on to study filmmaking in Boston, ended up in PR in New York, and at some point, it was clear promoting other people's stories just wasn't the right path. She moved on to Carnegie Mellon University to attend a film industry management program. To complete her studies, she would need to find an internship. Through a human connection, who put her resume on the right desk, it was seen by the right person, and she landed an internship role with Paramount, which then led to a job at Disney and then Universal Studios. Sometimes the world provides, but networking helps. The lesson in her experience is to ask for what you want. You never know who will be the person that can help you out. Like so many of us, after years of climbing up through the ranks in her industry, she realized she wasn't feeling a connection to the service and the product she was selling. Yes, she was promoting films, big ones, important ones, stories that were going to be told. But she wasn't having that feeling of fulfillment that comes from being on the creative side. Similar to PR, she was really working to share other people's stories. So she began to look for creative endeavor, just for herself. She started a coffee blog, which makes me wonder, do kids even know what a blog is today? Jing Lin wasn't planning on opening a cafe, at least not at first, and it wasn't why she started her coffee exploration. Although everybody wants to open a cafe, but not everyone realizes what it takes to do the work of opening and then actually running one. A mentor offered her some important advice. Look at someone you aspire to be, someone several rungs above you in the hierarchy, and ask yourself if that job, that life, is the one you want to live someday. For Jing Lin, the answer was no, and her coffee progression began in earnest. She started by increasing her home barista skills, and as she learned more, she had more confidence. Not just in coffee, but in embracing her creativity. As the idea of a coffee shop started marinating, she started researching, learning about other things like real estate and how to sign a lease. In her words, she was like a squirrel, just gathering and gathering information. Making the leap wasn't easy. She had a reasonable corporate job that was safe, until it wasn't. Hello, coronavirus. Her department was cut, but she was given a severance package that enabled her to look forward and view the change as an opportunity to take on a new challenge, this time opening a coffee shop. It was difficult for her to find a landlord who would even take a chance on leasing a space because she wasn't a proven concept or even had an industry background. They weren't confident she would make the rent. Her location near Hollywood wasn't the fancy Hollywood you imagine on television. Pro tip, maybe don't take your kids to Hollywood, people. It's not always what you think it might be. But Jing persevered. The desire for connection with friends and family and even strangers is real, even for a weirdly social introvert like myself. She realized that we go through bouts of self-consciousness when approaching a new friend. And I'd say, have you tried to make a new friend as an adult, say after a big move? It's not easy. At Coffee Confessionals, Jing is trying to create a space where the veil is off and the opportunity to connect is presented to you. The first steps, be it a conversation card or a chatty barista, encourage engagement. Staff training and personality is an essential component for creating a safe coffee confessional space. We focused our Coffee Smarter advice from this episode on what it takes to leave one job, one that feels safe or stable, for another one, and particularly in coffee. Jing suggests baby steps. It doesn't need to be, and probably shouldn't be, impulsive. Do your research and understand as best as you can what you're getting into. She quoted E.L. Doctorow's advice for writing as applicable to starting a new career or entrepreneurial effort. Quote, "Writing is like driving at night in the fog. You can only see as far as your headlights. But you can make the whole trip that way." End quote. Basically, you can only address what you can see, so be alert and be flexible to what might come. It likely won't happen overnight. Jing built up her business in steps. The brick-and-mortar space was always part of her plan, but it wasn't the immediate option for her on day one. First, she had to give herself permission to leave her career, and then change her career and lifestyle expectations. There's a lot of troubleshooting. If the tent across the street is on fire, what do you do? Finally, it's challenging to be an entrepreneur, but it becomes less daunting when you start collecting stories and examples and asking for help. You can expand as you go, and it should be something that is fun for you. To quote Dr. Leo Marvin in the 1991 film classic What About Bob, quote, "Baby steps. It means setting small, reasonable goals for yourself one day at a time. One tiny step at a time. Baby steps." And Bill Murray, of course, took that to the next level. I want to express my thanks to Jing for appearing on the pod. We couldn't have done it without her. I mean, obviously, she was the guest. Also, thanks to the team at Roastar for supporting this show and our efforts to share the stories of coffee people. The important links from this show, like the one to roastery.com, is in this episode's show notes and in our Coffee People Podcast newsletter, which you can subscribe to at coffeepeoplepodcast.com. You can also find the show on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Thank you for giving it a listen, hitting the follow button, and hopefully giving us those 5 shiny stars. Thanks again to all of our friends and partners of the show, including Roastar Coffee Packaging, Sivetz Roasting Machines, which I spell Sivetz, Hacea Coffee Source, Relative Coffee Company, our newest supporter, Luis at Acento Coffee Roasters in San Diego, and of course, all of you. Wherever you are, please tip your baristas, and of course, drink good coffee. Cheers, everyone.